Come down to John's Supermarket and enjoy the New Year's specials. Hunt spaghetti sauce, all varieties, in the 24-ounce can, 89 cents. Oscar Mayer hot dogs, 5 for $19.99. Main Street entrees, 5 for $19.99. Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, and Mountain Dew, a 6-pack for $4.99. Farm Rich frozen meatballs, $4.99. And Blue Bonnet margarine sticks, 99 cents for a 16-ounce box. Ready for some sweet potatoes? The baking size sweet potatoes, a 3-pound bag, is $2.49 at John's. Garden Fresh green cabbage, 39 cents a pound. Garden Fresh broccoli crowns, 2 for $4. Garden Fresh cucumbers, 2 for 99 cents. This week at John's Supermarket, come check out our great meat specials. Starting with our chicken. Quarter leg pieces, 69 cents a pound. Our chicken drumsticks, 79 cents a pound. Fresh split chicken wings, $3.99 a pound. And whole wings for $3.59 a pound. This week at John's, boneless chuck roast, $4.99 a pound. Boneless chuck steak, $4.99 a pound. Boneless ribeye steak, $9.99 a pound. And our T-bone steaks are $7.99 a pound. 1/4 sliced pork chops are $1.59 a pound this week at John's. Country style ribs, bone-in, are $1.79 a pound. Pork steak is $1.99 a pound this week, and pork riblets, $1.99 a pound.
I was going to tell you some things about the features on an electric car. Let me read some of these. Nissan had ProPilot. They came out with that in June of 2017. Tesla came out with Autopilot in October of 2015. Then Nissan Leaf came out with ProPilot Park, which is automatic parking, in 2018. And also in 2018, they came out with ePedal. Now, GMC has been running an ad in 2021 about hands-free driving. Well, Autopilot that the Nissan Leaf has is hands-free driving, and in the Tesla, ProPilot in the Nissan Leaf is hands-free driving, and in the Tesla, Autopilot is hands-free driving. So Tesla has had it since October of 2015, and the Leaf has had it since June of 2017. So what I'm trying to say is these electric cars are several years ahead of the gas cars, which we call ICE cars, internal combustion engines. So that's one reason why I drive an electric car. I've had this luxury I've got my first Leaf in 2015. And so we've had this luxury that is just now getting to the other cars. Now mine did not have the ProPilot because it was a 15, but then the 2018 had ProPilot. And that is, let me describe this to you. With ePedal and ProPilot, you just let go of the steering wheel, you push the ProPilot, and you push a cruise, and the car just drives itself. And particularly if you're following a car, it will automatically slow down and it'll automatically speed up as to the car in front of you. It will automatically make curves in the road. It will turn them. Now, it will do it automatically without your hands on the steering wheel. But you will have a beeping warning coming on the car if you have your hands off the steering wheel for about 15 seconds. Because they want you to keep your hands on the wheel just so in case their radar sensors and their cameras don't see something in front of you, they're relying on you to do it. The Tesla is the same way. There's been talk about the Tesla being so dangerous that people have had wrecks on autopilot and all this. Some of these wrecks I've read about, one guy was in the back seat of the Tesla Tesla tells you to keep your hands on the steering wheel in case something comes up that the Tesla doesn't see. And the Nissan Leaf says the same thing. Keep your hands on the steering wheel. It is like this. You can look off, and if the car in front of you is slowing down, it will start slowing down. I have done that before. I've looked off at something and get back and really have to cram on my brakes. Well, when I have it on the Pro Pilot, I can look off, and if something's stopping in front of me, it will automatically start slowing down. Now, I'm not sure with the newer Teslas. I know the older ones have regenerative braking. So does the Leaf have regenerative braking. What is regenerative braking? Regenerative braking is using the motor as an alternator. So when you get off of the accelerator, the magnetism of the motor starts slowing the whole car down, and it really saves your brakes. Brakes on these electrics, if you're using regenerative braking, I don't know, probably go 100,000 miles or even more, because you just never use your brakes. You use the regenerative braking, which also puts energy back into your battery. So I'll say this. I was in stop and go traffic in Atlanta back in 16, and the Leaf I was driving then had an 84-mile range. It had the 24 kilowatt hour battery. That's the first time and the only time I got nearly 100 miles on my charge, because I was in stop and go traffic, and it was a nice day. I didn't have the air conditioner or the heater going. So the stop and going, as I was stopping, it was putting juice back into the battery. As I was going, it was taken out of the battery. So I did, and it was like 15 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour, which is getting great gas mileage, or not gas mileage, great energy mileage. And so I did that one time get 100 miles per charge, and the car is rated at 84. Now, when I'm talking about this, let me talk a little bit about range. If you're getting an electric car, as I said earlier, the range is not necessarily what you're going to get. It all depends on your driving. If you're a lead foot, you're not going to come anywhere close to the range that they tell you that car will get. You've got to be a feather foot, and you just got to ease on the accelerator. And the reason for this is just like in a gas car. The more abrupt you stop the thing, the faster you take off, it's taking more energy. So drive it very conservative, and your range sometimes will be more than what they advertise. But if you drive it out there, and if you're driving over 70 miles an hour, no, you're not going to get your range, because it really, an electric car, about 60, 65 is when it'll start dropping off on your range, and your range will not be what the car said it would be. I did this testing. This is myself testing this. This is my figures, but I've checked them several times, and this is pretty true. On the Nissan Leaf with a 24 kilowatt hour battery, it had an 84-mile range. On a 30 amp charger, which that's what I have at my house, I would get 35 miles per hour of charge. So I was getting 35 miles per hour of charge. Okay, if you take amps times volts, that comes out to 7,200, and your electric bill is in kilowatt hours. So if you divide that by 1,000, you would come up with 7.2. Well, the last time I checked the rate in Monroe, it was 12.8 cents a kilowatt hour. So if you take 7.2 times 12.8 cents kilowatt hour, That comes up to 92 cents. Okay, so 92 cents an hour is what it costs me to charge on the different batteries. So what you do, the 92 cents is a constant. But if I divide the 92 cents by, I was getting 35 miles per hour of charge, that means I'm driving that Leaf for 2.64 cents. 2.64 cents is what I'm driving it for. The newer Leaf I've got is got a 40 kilowatt hour battery, which it's rated at 150 miles range. Same thing, it takes me, when I'm charging, I'm getting a 28 miles per hour of charge. So I do that times the amps, volts, divided by kilowatt hours. And so it costs me 3.3 cents a mile to drive that car. On a Tesla that's an 85 kilowatt hour battery, it gets about 21 miles, sometimes 22. It'll fluctuate between 21 and 22 miles per hour on the charge, which means it's going to cost 4.4 cents to drive it per mile. So it depends on the size of your battery. A 24 kilowatt hour battery costs about 2.64 cents a mile to drive it. A 40 kilowatt hour battery costs you about 3.3 cents a mile to drive it. And an 85 kilowatt hour battery costs you about 4.4 cents a mile to drive it. And again, this is based on the Monroe rate at 12.8 cents kilowatt hour. And it looks like it keeps creeping up every time I get a bill. So that will also increase. To give you a comparison, let's say you've got a car that's getting 24 miles per gallon. Right now, roughly it's more, it's less. I would say the average regular gas is $3.25 a gallon. So 24 into $3.25 a gallon, it'll cost you 13.5 cents a mile to drive that car. If you have a compact that's getting really good gas mileage, 30 miles to the gallon, $3.25 divided by 30 is 10.8 cents a mile to drive it. So you can see, you can drive a big luxurious Tesla for 4.4 cents a mile compared to a Lincoln, which I have a friend has when they get 24 miles to the gallon out of it, costing 13.5 cents a mile to drive it. So it costs basically 3 times per mile more to drive the Lincoln than it does the Tesla. So that's where your savings will come in. And this is only if you have your own charger. This is what is so confusing to so many people. Well, I can't charge it. Where am I going to charge? And all like this. Look, as I told you, I've had an electric for over 7 years. I have charged outside of my house about 6 times in that 7 years. Each time I've charged, I have never gotten more than 25 miles. Again, I haven't taken it on a long trip or anything. I just knew the car, and it's more of a commuter car. But again, I know my car. I go to Athens, I run into Atlanta, and I go different places around Covington, Conyers, whatever, Gainesville. And I know the car, but I have never gotten more than 25 miles to get home. And remember, in an electric car, you're not running it to get to a gas station. Your goal is to always get home. And if you're not going to put in an electric charger at your house, just forget electric car. You don't want one, because you will not be satisfied with it. But what's so neat about electric car is every time you get home, you can plug her in and she's full and ready to go the next morning. And that is what's such an event. You don't have a slide through. You know, when people are filling up, somebody slides through, steals their car, or steals stuff out of it. Hey, I've never been to a gas station. Oh, yeah, I have. I've been twice, and that was to get cappuccinos. I've never gotten any gas. So that's the good side of an electric car, is you don't have to worry about when you're filling up as such, because you're doing it at your house. And that's what you want to do. Okay, what does a charging station cost? A lot of houses nowadays have their breaker box is in the garage or close to the carport. And it's usually you're just going right through the wall, from an inside wall to an outside wall. In the case of a garage, it's already in the wall on the garage. And it costs very little to hook up a 220 charging station. So if you've got a dryer plug or something in your house that looks like this, then you can plug them directly into that outlet. How much do charging stations cost? Well, if you get one from Tesla, it's $600. But you can get a Tesla charging station on eBay for about $325. In fact, you can get charging stations for about $150, $190, up to $600, or whatever you want to spend. My recommendation is to get a charging station that's about 25 to 30 amp. This is my Bosch. It is a 15 amp charger, and then right under it is my 30 amp charger, and it's a newer version, so you can see it's about 2/3 the size of my other one. But there they are. They're both of my chargers. And you can get these chargers with 20, 25, or 30 foot of cable, so you can reach across your garage or carport if you need to charge your car on the other side. So that is one neat thing about them. They do come with plenty of cord. And that way you're going to be, with these figures I'm talking about, getting, say, 28 miles per hour of charge, 21 miles per hour of charge in your bigger batteries. If you have an older Leaf, and Leaf did change their body style in 18. The 12 through the 17 is the same body style and has the 24 kilowatt hour battery. And that battery will charge 35 miles per hour on that. Again, your range on that is 84. Now, when I traded mine off, the batteries will lose full charge. And all of them do that. Doesn't matter who makes it. They will all do that. And instead of 84 miles, I was down to about 70 miles on a charge. But I still went everywhere I wanted to. One thing good about charging stations, and I'm not going to let the secret out because I want to use them myself, but there are several free charging stations around. And I was just saying, two of my favorite apps are the Plug Share, which is this app, and then the Supercharge, which is this app. And this Supercharge, when you click on it, it will come up and it shows you the charging stations in basically the area. There's the one in the Athens and Madison. The one in Madison, as you see, is purple. That means it's a supercharging station. It's 250 kilowatt hours. And the one in Athens is red. That means it's 150 kilowatt hours. So we tap on the one here in Athens, and this will come up, and then you will want to know something about the charging station, then all this comes up to tell you the charging station. As you can see there, the power, that it is a 150. It's open 24/7, and it has a contact number and that type of thing on it. Let me get down here a little more, and then you can scroll up and see all about the charging station. It does have Wi-Fi. If you see, it's got restrooms. There's restaurants in the area and all. It's a shopping center. It's Epps Bridge Center, which, as you know, in Athens, there is a lot of shopping there. So you can just pull in, charge, and go shopping or go to a restaurant or something. So it's very convenient for you. Then we've got... and it also will usually give you a picture, and there's the address right there. We'll get out of that. And so when I go shopping, a lot of times I'll go to one of the places that has the free charging station, and I'll just charge up while I'm shopping, and basically it costs me to get to the place, and when I go back home, it's free. Commerce is a real good example of free charging. You've got the outlet stores up there at Commerce. Commerce, as well as I can remember, was 40-something miles up there, which on my Leaf, it would push me to get home. Guess what? They have 4 free charging stations at Commerce. So I would go in and shop around and all. If I'm there just an hour, I got a good 25 miles per my hour of charge while I was shopping. So that's more than enough to get me back home. And remember, in an electric car, your goal is to get back home. I have charged and gotten as little as 8 miles just to get home. I knew that I was coming in one time. It was in Loganville. I had 4 miles that it said on my range. Well, I knew exactly from that point it was 11 miles to my house. So I stopped in and got 4 miles of charge, and I made it home and I had a mile to spare. So you do cut it close sometimes. I will say this, in all the years I've had it, I have just gone into turtle gear one time. And what is turtle gear? All of your electrics, when basically you run out of energy, they will go into a limp mode, which you will have about 1/3 the power that you normally have. It might cut off your radios and everything else in the car, but it will try to get you so you can get off of an interstate or get off of a highway or be safe. And this limp mode could give you for 2, 3, or 4 miles, but it's going to be slow. You're probably the fastest you'll go is about 45 miles an hour. So all the cars do have this limp mode. In the Nissan Leaf, they call it turtle gear. And when it gets into it, there is a turtle that comes up on your screen to show you you're in turtle gear, and that's why it's going so slow. So these are features of the electric cars. Let me say this about Nissan. And the reason I'm talking about these cars, I know these cars. There are a lot of other electrics being made, and I do not know about them, so I'm not going to talk about them. I'm just talking about the electrics that I know. The Tesla recommends that you not charge it over 85, no more than 90%. So you can program it that when it fills up, it will not fill up more than, say, 85%. They do not want you to fill it up to 100% because they say it reduces the battery. We're now going to plug in the Tesla onboard charger. As you can see right here, we're going to insert it. You hear it lock it in place. Now it's beginning to charge on that. And we'll take our phone out and look and see what rate it's charging it. It's coming up. Okay, it's feeding into it right now. It's saying 17 miles an hour, but it's going to be picking up because we've just plugged it in. There's 22, and as you can see on the phone, it's showing there at the car that it is charging. Plus you can see the green there means it's charging. If it should have the red around it, that's telling you you've got a fault somewhere, that it's probably not plugged in right, and you would probably need to unplug it and plug it back in. Another thing with the Tesla is they say they don't want you to go less than 20%. So you see automatically on your range, even though it says 250 miles, 280 miles, you really don't get that because they don't want you filling up full and they don't want you to go down to empty. Now on the Leaf, my experience with the Leaf is I filled my other one full. Just about every time I filled it up, it was full because I was filling up in my house. And I have come in home with 5 miles left, with 4 miles left. A few times I came in with 2 miles left. And the one time I came in on turtle gear. So I had no miles left, but I did have enough energy to get home. So just remember that different manufacturers want you to treat their batteries different. The Nissan Leaf seems to not care if you fill it up full and if you take it nearly to empty. Tesla does. In fact, Tesla will tell you if you get down to 1 mile or 0, somewhere in there, that it can damage the battery permanently. So you don't want to get it down. Now, on the other hand, if you're going on a trip in a Tesla, they say you could go up to about 95%. And so you could take this scale that's on your battery and do it up to 95%, so you'll have more range. But different manufacturers tell you to treat their batteries different. Now, there's one thing in the making is Quantum battery company, QuantumScape, is making a battery that they say, and if they do come out with this battery, and it's in the makings, they say, and Volkswagen is supposed to be the first one to use this battery. It's a solid state battery. It's a whole new ideal in batteries. But the QuantumScape battery is supposed to charge full in about 15 minutes. It's not supposed to develop memory, and it lasts a lifetime. So if this battery comes to fruition, it'll totally change electric cars. Because all electric cars now, the battery will degrade. It will gradually lose a little power. In fact, most of the companies say your average is going to be 1 to 2% a year is what you'll lose in your range of your battery. Now, if you're supercharging your battery every time you charge it, you're supercharging all, no, they'll go down really fast. Because supercharging, and what it is, it's the heat of supercharging the battery makes the battery lose part of its ultimate power. And so any of them will tell you you can use superchargers, but they don't recommend using superchargers a lot. Again, on a trip, you can use a supercharger. Now let's get into trips. And that's what I hear from everybody. I can't drive an electric car because you just won't get energy. You'll run out of energy. Well, again, when you're buying an electric car, what is your goal? How far do you drive it every day? That's one of the things you need to know. How far are you driving your car every day? If you're commuting somewhere and it's 200 miles every day, you really don't want an electric car. You really don't, not right now. Now, they're getting better, and there's the Lucid is, I think, coming out at the end of next year. Well, it's come out. They've just, I remember I read they've just opened some showrooms. The Lucid says it will have a 505-mile range. So with something like that, hey, you could commute 200 miles each way a day, and that car would work great for you. One kickback on the Lucid is it starts at $80,000, and they go up to, I think, $180,000. So it's a very expensive car. But on most of your other cars, like in the Leaf, now you can get the Plus, and the Leaf Plus will give you 225 miles of a charge. The regular Leaf will give you 150 miles of a charge. And again, all this is based on not using your air conditioner and not using your heater. Now the Leaf, Tesla has just now come out with this. The Leaf did in 17, the Leaf came out with a heat pump. And any of you that have your houses and have a total electric system, you will have a heat pump that cools your house, and then it turns around backwards and it heats your house. Well, the same thing is on the Leaf, is it's using a heat pump. And I think it was in 2020 that Tesla started putting heat pumps on their cars. So a heat pump is much better on your range on a car than the strip heaters. The strip heaters that they all used at first use a lot of energy, and that's why nearly all of your electric cars have got heated seats. Some have heated rear seats. Most of them have heated front seats. And like I said, some of them have the heated rear seats. And they also have the heated steering wheels. That's why on a real cold day, on my old Leaf, I did not turn the heater on. I would just turn the heated seats and the steering wheel on, and it would keep you warm. It wouldn't be toasty warm, but it would keep you warm. And so that's sometimes something you will give up if you're going on a distance. Now, around town, running to Conyers, Covington, like that, no, I turn the heater on full blast. And while I'm thinking about it, here's a good thing about electric car. On a ICE car, what have you got to go? 1, 2, 3 miles down the road before you start getting some heat out of it. On an electric car, you will have heat in less than 30 seconds. They heat up fast because a motor's not having to warm up to get it. It's like I said, maybe it has a heat pump or it's got strip heaters. So that is a good thing on there. And by being like that, on your electric cars, again, you can preheat them, you can pre-air condition them, you can operate them from your phone and get this going. Recently, I was in Atlanta, met my daughter there. I said, hey, let's eat some lunch. And she says, I can't, I've got my dogs with me. And it was like, I think 85 degrees that day. And I said, yeah, we can eat lunch. Well, my dogs will get too hot. I said, no, let's put them in the Tesla. So we put them in the Tesla, and I was there in the restaurant, and I turned the air conditioner on, and I monitored it, and I put it at 72 degrees, and it kept the cabin at 72 degrees the whole time we were eating. And when we got through eating an hour later, the dogs were comfortable, 72 degrees, and it was fine. And again, that's one of the advantages of electric cars, is you can turn the heaters on, you can turn the air conditioning on, and that's all that's running. Where on an ICE car, the main motor's got to be running to run these other things. So that is some of the advantages of that. I will probably continue with another program later, but I'm just wanting to tell you some of the do's and don'ts, good, bad, of electric cars, because again, what they're saying is in 2030, probably half the cars out there will be electric. And I know a lot of the manufacturers are switching over fast. In fact, we've got the truck factory, electric truck factory, going in Social Circle in a little over a year, and Rivian. And that's a fine looking truck. Tesla is coming out with the Cybertruck. It was supposed to be out in end of 21. Now it looks like it's going to be the end of 22, or it might even be 23 when they come out with the Cybertruck. And that's an all-electric truck. Things I really like about it is the one version of it will have a 500-mile range, and it also is a 6-passenger. I do like that about a truck, being able to carry 6 people. So that's things for us to look for, is the Rivian truck, the Tesla truck, and again, Ford has come out with their electric truck. And again, with these electric vehicles and all, there's probably going to be ways that you can use it to keep your house going when the power goes out. The only thing that I'm really concerned about is with all these electric cars hitting, our government hasn't done anything to up the grid. In fact, they've done stuff to destroy the grid by not using natural gas, trying to get us off of natural gas. And look, with all these electric cars hitting, there's going to be more energy consumed, more electric energy consumed than's ever been consumed. And there'll be less gasoline. So to me, our government needs to slow down on telling everybody you got to drive an electric car. And let's get the grid right. Let's get our grid out there. Let's get plenty of power out there. And then maybe you've got your, I've read things where you've got your car plugged in, and if you do a deal with your power company, that during peak power, they can pull energy out of your car during peak times, and then the energy will go back into your car in non-peak times. So it's kind of a sharing thing that can happen out there. And, we've just got to see what happens. But I still think our government needs to start worrying about electric grids more than electric cars at this point. And that's just my opinion. They do say that they're non-polluting electric cars. That is true, except if it's a coal-fired plant where you're getting electricity, or if it's a gas-fired plant where you're getting electricity. If your electricity is wind, solar, or hydro, then you're driving an electric car that's pollution-free. But if some of the energy is coming from one of these things, then there was a pollutant put in there for you to get the electricity. Another thing with electric cars is you can be very independent. You can put some solar panels out, and you can just charge your car at your house, and it doesn't cost you anything to charge your car. So you basically run your car free. Well, of course, you've got the installation of the solar cells and all that to pay for. But basically, that is a good thing, where I don't know if some of you, I've been caught a few times in these energy crises where there's lines and lines to get gasoline. Well, hey, if you got an electric car and got your electric panels, who cares? You just charge up at home, and you don't worry about the gas lines and all. And that's one thing good is I've never worried with my electric car about a gas line. I always know I can get power. I can get it from my house. Now, if the power's out, I do have a generator which is a gasoline, but I can get to crank up my gasoline generator, and I can still keep my car going. So hopefully this has been informative for you. Again, I love electric cars. Been driving over 7 years, and I will continue to drive electric cars. There's basically not hardly any maintenance to it, which here's another thing to think about. You see those places around that say transmission repair, there won't be any electric cars that don't have transmission. So if you're in the transmission repair and all these electric cars get out there, you're out of business, except for the old clunkers that'll be left. And, muffler shops, tailpipe shops, they're out of business because there's no mufflers, there's no tailpipes on electric cars. And there are a lot of other companies that provide parts for engines, for transmissions, all that stuff. There's not any. So none of those people have jobs. So the big thing down the road is there's going to be thousands of people out of jobs because an electric car, I've read anywhere from 10 to 25 moving parts is an electric car. An ICE car, transmission and engine, they have close to 2,000 moving parts 2,000 moving parts against 25 moving parts. Somebody or something has to make each one of those parts. So just think about that stuff. How many people are put out of work? 25 compared to 2,000. Just think about it. It's something to think about. Again, I think our country needs to work on the electric grid, getting it up, and less on doing gas prices up and forcing people to go to electric cars. This is Paul Mullins with Walton Entertainment. If you're wanting to plant tulips, first thing to do is rent you a ditch witch and dig you about a 5-inch depth hole, line right here as you see, and then you put the tulip bulbs in there and you space them out, what are they, 6 inches apart, 5 inches apart, space them 5 inches apart, and put your fertilizer in. And I'm going to show you an apparatus that was made to keep your 5-inch spacing. Hold on just a minute. And Wills Lacrosse masterminded this. He took PVC plastic pipe, took some clamps, clamped them to a little box he made, and this does your equal spacing of your bulbs. And as you can see, this is what it looks like. The one hole over there is your pilot hole that you put over the last bulb that you put down, so you keep them equally spaced. So with this little device you can equally space all of your bulbs. Let me show you. As you can see, they're equally spaced.
Our regular classes will start back in January. Pottery kind of continues through this next couple of weeks, but most of our other classes will start back in January. We have hopefully an exciting announcement of a Tai Chi class starting. You know, we hosted that out in the sculpture garden in the fall, and it was pleasant but a little challenging sometimes with weather and with the noise. We believe we've located a place to have that indoors. It won't be here in our building, but it'll be close by. Don't want to make the announcement to have it all nailed down, but hopefully Friday mornings from 10 to 11 will be a 1-hour class for Tai Chi, a beginner's class, and it'll be weekly. And hope that you will come. I believe the price will be around $15 per class, and I think we'll have a bundled price that will save you a little bit of money. So be paying attention to that. Either come in and get a class list that looks like this, has all of our classes listed on it, or you can check us out on Facebook at Monroe Walton Arts, or check out our website at monroewaltonarts.org. As soon as we have classes ready and I have all the details and everything, I get them up as fast as I can on Facebook, on Instagram, and on our website. The other thing I wanted to let you know about is our 2022 show schedule. That's ready and that's out now too. And we'll start out with our member show like we always do every January. So if you're a member, I hope you're already getting your 3 pieces ready. The member show, of course, does have a youth category in it. So the member show is a showcase of the talent that our members have, and whether you're a novice or whether you're a professional artist or somewhere in between. We invite you, if you're a member, to come in and display, and you can even offer your pieces for sale in our members show, and that will open in January. The drop-off dates are January 7th and 8th. So I hope everybody's getting their pieces ready, and it's a little bit like Christmas after Christmas to see what all comes in for our members show. It's a fabulous show, lots of variety, lots of talent. I'm always amazed at the talent that our members have. So we start out with our members show, we go into our school shows after that. We have a new show that I'm kind of excited about that's a tiny art show, and that one will be fun. with that one, you will bring in up to 6 small pieces, so 8 by 8 or smaller, and they can be 2D or 3D, and we'll just have a tiny art show, and hopefully have lots to choose from. And we do ask for that show that things be available for purchase. So that's kind of a new show, and then we'll have our regional show, and then we'll go back into our Christmas show at the end of the year. So that's kind of 2022 mapped out for us. And then we'll also be hosting the Monroe Museum. We'll be here I believe in July, and they will have an exhibit here for about a month, 5 or 6 weeks. And we're really excited to partner with them and host them here in our gallery for a special exhibit from the Monroe Museum and Steve Brown. So excited about that. So come in, you can pick up a class list, you can pick up the show schedule. If you want kind of an overview of the year, you can also pick up the submission guidelines for the member show in January. Of course, shop with us and say hello, and we'd love to see you.
Come down to John's Supermarket and enjoy the New Year's specials. Hunt spaghetti sauce, all varieties, in the 24-ounce can, 89 cents. Oscar Mayer hot dogs, 5 for $19.99. Main Street entrees, 5 for $19.99. Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, and Mountain Dew, a 6-pack for $4.99. Farm Rich frozen meatballs, $4.99. And Blue Bonnet margarine sticks, 99 cents for a 16-ounce box. Ready for some sweet potatoes? The baking size sweet potatoes, a 3-pound bag, is $2.49 at John's. Garden Fresh green cabbage, 39 cents a pound. Garden Fresh broccoli crowns, 2 for $4. Garden Fresh cucumbers, 2 for 99 cents. This week at John's Supermarket, come check out our great meat specials, starting with our chicken. Quarter leg pieces, 69 cents a pound. Our chicken drumsticks, 79 cents a pound. Fresh split chicken wings, $3.99 a pound. And whole wings for $3.59 a pound. This week at John's, boneless chuck roast, $4.99 a pound. Boneless chuck steak, $4.99 a pound. Boneless ribeye steak, $9.99 a pound. And our T-bone steaks are $7.99 a pound. 1/4 sliced pork chops are $1.59 a pound this week at John's. Country style ribs, bone in, are $1.79 a pound. Pork steak is $1.99 a pound this week. And pork riblets, $1.99 a pound.
Hi, this is Jody Johnson with the Recreation Report, and I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, and I hope everybody gets to spend time with their family. Here at the Recreation Department, we use this time to stop all of our programs for the most part. Our basketball program will take a break while the kids are out of school for their Christmas break, and then we'll come back after the new year and finish up our basketball season. And with that happening, of course, our spring sports registration will start right when the kids come back to school. So be ready to register for that. It's really important that you get in. We usually have 5 or 6 days that you can register for our program, and then it's a time that we just fill in some of the few spots that we have left. So make sure you get in, get registered. That way we can be prepared. You know, it's more important than ever that you do get registered on time. Because the supply chain is tough, even for us at the Recreation Department. Getting uniforms, getting equipment that's needed, all that stuff takes a lot more time than it used to. We could take 3 weeks, order our uniforms, and they'd all be in with no problem. Now it takes, we're actually ordering them now prior to registration, and then we'll fill in just because the supply chain just isn't there. So we're doing the best we can with that. Also, probably the second most important thing, if you're interested in becoming some type of official, umpire, referee, we need those guys more than ever. There's actually more activities going on than there are officials to officiate. So we're in need. It's a great part-time job. If you're interested, we have some guys that come in and assign you to the activities, and they also train you, and they make sure you get paid appropriately, and the pay's never been better. So if you're interested in doing this, contact us here at the Recreation Department. Go by one of your athletic offices and we'll get you in touch with the right person. If it's soccer, baseball, softball, any of the sports, even basketball, even though we're close to being finished with that, we are in need of that. We're also in need of volunteers. Anybody that just wants to volunteer coach and come work with kids, you pass a background check here, and then we try to assign you to a team or to if you want to be a head coach, then you come and do the evaluations and drafts. You just want to be an assistant coach, we'll try to pair you up with the person of your choice, and we'd love to have some volunteer coaches. We're looking for good role models. You don't necessarily have to be the best athlete. We just need somebody that wants to spend time with the kids and work with them. We have a lot of videos that you can watch, and it will help you get through the practices. And then, of course, the games are a ton of fun. Spending time with the kids and seeing them gain the skills through repetition, it's an invaluable experience. So I would like to encourage everyone to get involved in that way if you would like. You have some time. It does take a couple hours a week to fulfill those duties, so we look forward to seeing you do that. You can apply for that online as well at waltoncountyga.gov, and that's where you register as well. You can register online. You can go to our Facebook page at the Walton County Parks and Recreation, or you can go to our website at waltoncountyga.gov, or you can come into our office and do it face to face like the good old days. We'd love to do any of those things that you would like. During our registration times, we always have the office open, and of course our community centers are open from 6 in the morning till 8 at night most days. The times are abbreviated on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and we're closed on Sundays. So come in and join our community centers. It's a great time with those New Year's resolutions to come in, walk, exercise with all of our weight equipment. I've seen a lot of people coming in and taking advantage of that, but they're not overly crowded. So there's plenty of times just right when people get off work, it's a little busier, but during the day, in the evenings, early in the morning, there's plenty of space at both the Monroe and the Loganville Community Center. The South Walton Community Center will be up and going before we know it. It has been delayed. We're having some supply issues there as well. So the date for opening that has been pushed back till March. But we look forward to adding our third community center and getting all of the weight equipment in there that the other two community centers have, a walking track, big gym, lots of classrooms, and an office for our South Walton athletic folks. So looking forward to that. We have a lot of great things going on with our registration coming up, basketball season ending, and so we look forward to a very, very successful new year. And again, we want to remind you it's to have a Merry Christmas, spend that time with the family, go out to one of our parks. The weather is going to be nice. They'll be open, but most of the outdoor restrooms are closed for the winter, so take that in mind if you go to a place that does have a restroom. Most of them are closed because I know the weather is warm right now, but it does drop down some of the nights, so we have to close those things down to keep the pipes from busting. So just know that most of the restrooms are closed for the winter, but we do encourage you to go out to the parks. They're open. We don't lock them up. If it is locked, obviously don't go on it. It means they're under construction, but most of the facilities are open. So the weather's supposed to be really nice over the break. So we look forward to having a lot of folks out at our outdoor walking tracks, our pavilions, our playgrounds. There's a brand new one out at Criswell Park. It's great for older kids. It's kind of like a little ropes course. I invite you to go out there and utilize it. And remember, sportsmanship starts at home. Thank you.
Hey everybody, it's Isaac over at Reboot giving you the Reboot Tech Tip. I wanted to talk a little bit today about video conferencing. I know that thing has gotten so big, because of the whole virus thing. I know people have seen things about Zoom, and how people are hacking Zoom and all that stuff. And for y'all that don't know, Zoom is basically a video conferencing software where, you can have up to I don't know what it is, 5,000 people on one video conference call, something crazy like that. But Anyway, so a lot of people are using that to meet, a lot of organizations, so everybody can stay home and meet and stuff like that. So just give you a little info about that. Yes, Zoom was kind of hackable in the beginning, and people were a little scared about it, but as far as I know, they have fixed those issues, and so it's pretty safe now. I mean, I tell people all the time, if you're on the internet, somebody can hack you. That's really just the bottom line. So as far as it can be safe, I think it is. Zoom is a good one. It's free if you want to do meetings for up to 40 minutes. But then after that, you have to pay for it. And I want to say it's like $15 a month or something like that. But the Zoom one is great. It has great quality. The sound is good. The video is good. All that stuff. So another one that people have been using is called like Google Duos is another one, or Google Meets. And those both can be free if you have a Gmail account, as long as everybody participating has a Gmail account or a Google account. That's a free one. That's a good one. And the stuff we had before, like the FaceTime that people use for Apple products, is great. Skype is probably one of the more glitchier ones. Sometimes it works good, sometimes it doesn't. Some devices it works on, some it doesn't. It's really kind of a pain, so we don't really recommend that one. But and then some folks get scared about, can, after I hang up, can people still see me on my webcam and all that stuff? And once you cut the connection or hit leave the meeting, then you're done. But if you want to, I see a lot of people, they'll put like a piece of tape or something over the webcam, stuff like that, or you can unplug your webcam or turn it off inside the computer, whatever you want to do, if that makes you feel a little safe. But yeah, new world, so people might want to get used to the video conferencing thing. Obviously, if you got any questions, contact your local IT guy or give us a call here at Reboot. We'll be happy to help you. But that's it. Isaac at Reboot giving you the tech tip.
Where do you come alive? A stadium, lecture hall, a music hall, church potluck? This year, you have a new spot, walkgeorgia.org, a free website that provides you with all the resources needed to get your heart rate up and body out in your community. Sign up and receive individual or group fitness tracking, fitness demos by certified trainers, recipes, and a guide to resources in your Georgia County, all in one easy-to-use site. When you move more, you live more. walkgeorgia.org.
Come down to John's Supermarket and enjoy the New Year's specials. Hunt spaghetti sauce, all varieties, in the 24-ounce can, 89 cents. Oscar Mayer hot dogs, 5 for $19.99. Main Street entrees, 5 for $19.99. Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, and Mountain Dew, a 6-pack for $4.99. Farm Ridge frozen meatballs, $4.99. And Blue Bonnet margarine sticks, 99 cents for a 16-ounce box. Ready for some sweet potatoes? The baking size sweet potatoes, a 3-pound bag, is $2.49 at John's. Garden Fresh green cabbage, 39 cents a pound. Garden Fresh broccoli crowns, 2 for $4. Garden Fresh cucumbers, 2 for 99 cents. This week at John's Supermarket, come check out our great meat specials. Starting with our chicken. Quarter leg pieces, 69 cents a pound. Our chicken drumsticks, 79 cents a pound. Fresh split chicken wings, $3.99 a pound. And whole wings for $3.59 a pound. This week at John's, boneless chuck roast, $4.99 a pound. Boneless chuck steak, $4.99 a pound. Boneless ribeye steak, $9.99 a pound. And our T-bone steaks are $7.99 a pound. 1/4 sliced pork chops are $1.59 a pound this week at John's. Country style ribs, bone in, are $1.79 a pound. Pork steak is $1.99 a pound this week. And pork riblets, $1.99 a pound.
Making it green starts from the ground up, so make sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Test your home for the presence of radon. Go to epa.gov/radon.
Make it green.